This is FNN News Network. FNN News Network broadcasts news, documentaries, public events, and opinions relevant to the Oromo people. FNN is an umbrella media organization of several Oromo media sources that advocate for the rights of the Oromo people. FNN seeks to bring fresh news, commentaries, investigative journalism, and education to those in Oromia and beyond. We broadcast using television and social media networks. FNN is a voice of the Oromo people and depends on the support of viewers like you. Please consider partnering with us, providing a voice for the Oromo people.
Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Baba from FNN News Network. I'm here to talk about the Fano terrorists that have killed about 144 people in the last 1 week in Horro Guduru Wallaga, Oromia. So the people who reside in Horro Guduru Wallaga in Kiramu and Amuru districts tell that the Fano terrorists have been organized and then have been conducting raids on the Oromo civilians for the last 2 years. That is about the last 2 years of about the 4 years the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has been in power. The Fano terrorists were organized. They were emboldened by the Abiy's ambition to restore Amhara supremacy over Ethiopia and to restore the imperial system after he came to power on the top of the Oromo Youth Revolution that removed and changed the removed the TPLF from the Ethiopian government and changed the dynamics in the Ethiopian ruling. Despite Abiy coming to power, as the immediate result of the Oromo Youth Revolution, his ambition has been to restore a unitary system in which the Amhara culture dominates, and the Amharas dominate every aspect of the Ethiopian everyday life. So the Amhara youth have been emboldened by Abiy's actions and by reactionary Amharas, especially the Amhara elites that have gone back from the overseas and try to control the system to favor them. And so this was the time that the Amhara Fanos were organized. It's no surprise that the war at the north of the country started about November 2020, and it has been ongoing for the last nearly 2 years. The Amhara Fanos are instrumental in conducting that war at the north of the country, and now they have an ambition to extend and expand the war into Oromia as well. The people living in Kiramu area and Amuru districts in Horro Guduru Wallaga in Oromia tell a very surprising story that the Fano Amhara terrorists have actually a military training camp in a place called Haro Baggin in Kiramu district of Horro Guduru Wallaga in Oromia state. The people tell us that the Fano terrorists have been stationed in that place with the knowledge of the Ethiopian federal government as well as the Oromia regional government. What is the ambition of especially the Oromia regional government, to allow non-Oromo armed group to station and settle and train and conduct raid on the Oromo civilian populations? Maybe, in my opinion, what they are trying to achieve here is to subdue the population so that the population thinks there is no one out there to save them except the Ethiopian government or the incumbent Oromia state government. So the Oromo population have to run to the Oromia regional state to save them. That way, they won't harbor the Oromo Liberation Army that has been struggling to bring about peace and allow the people to exercise freedom and independence. So, in order to deny the population from hosting the Oromo Liberation Army, the Ethiopian state as well as the Oromia regional state have to conduct some kind of trade to the local Oromo population. In my opinion, that might be the reason. So why am I talking about this? It was in the last 1 week that the Fano Amhara terrorists that are stationed in Oromia state in a place called Haro Baggin conducted a massacre over Oromos who are residing in a town called Agamsa in Amuru district. It didn't end there. They also they are still conducting raids and attacking the population. They killed about 24 people in Horro Buluq, very close to the Agamsa town. So this has been ongoing for the last 1 week. It started on the most recent one started on August 30th, and has been ongoing for the last few days. Population are extremely scared, including the government administrations. They were telling that they looted a lot of properties, they burned it down, stores, shops, they burned down government buildings and the like. They looted a lot. They say they brought about 5 cars and 5 trucks and loaded all their with everything that they got and got away. And where did they go? They went back to Haro Baggin. This Haro Baggin is not very far away from Kiramu. It's only about 1 hour. It's only about 1 hour from Agamsa itself, where they conducted the massacre. And this is happening under the auspices of the Ethiopian government. The Ethiopian government knows where they are and that they are conducting these, but they allowed them to conduct this and get away with it. And so this is similar to what happened in 1984 in Rwanda. This is a genocide that's going on, and this is allowed by the Ethiopian government. And it's been going in the north of the country, in Tigray. The same Fano terrorist groups have been conducting manslaughter over the Tigrayans and over the Wallo Oromos, where they drove 2 loads of trucks of people and took them one by one and shot. This happened in around December in 2021, but it surfaced in June 2022. But it got no attention from the global medias. It got no attention. It got no condemnation. Why are the Fano Amhara terrorists getting away with the killing of scores of people, and they are not designated as terrorists, and then the Ethiopian government is not held accountable for harboring Amhara Fano terrorists that are conducting war in the north of the country and in Oromia? What is surprising is the Amhara elites and the Amhara expatriates, those who are residing, foreigners who are living in the Western countries, in the US, in Europe, they just held a demonstration today. For what? To celebrate their peers killing Oromos and killing Tigrayans? I don't really know. I don't understand. What are they demonstrating about? Trying to condemn the Tigrayans? You know, in the 21st century, you have to respect the autonomy and the rights of those other people, your neighbors. If you have territorial ambition, you want to expand your territorial land into other regions, you will always face resistance. You will always pay it back. You can conduct mass murder just like they did right now. They can conduct a massacre, and you know what would happen? You never know. The children of the people who are being killed, the neighbors of those who are being killed right now, they are not going to welcome you like before. What surprised me is these people, especially the Fanos who conducted this mass murder in Agamsa in the last 1 week, and in Haro Buluq, some of them came to Oromia in 1984 when the north part of the country was hard hit by drought. And they were settled in Oromia. They were settled in Oromia, and the Oromo people gave them fertile land, milk, cow, and made them and integrated them into themselves, and they have been living together. But now they have this myth of grandiosity. They want to go back to their pastimes of that best time where they were the kings. It's so myth that when they came to Oromia, they were starving. The world was looking at them, and everybody was trying to help. And that was how the Oromo people also welcomed them. And today, what are they doing? They are organized, they are armed, they can kill those innocent civilians who are nobody to protect them. So a series of actions happened on 28th, 29th, and 30th. So what happened was on August 28th, the Oromia State Regional Militia were removed, and apparently they were sent to the north of the country to fight with the Tigrans. On the 29th, August 29th, a group under a name and under a warlord called Fikadu Abdisa, who surrendered and went back in 2018 when the Ethiopian government invited the Oromo Liberation Army to disarm. So Fikadu Abdisa was one of those who disarmed and went and joined the government. But within few months, he went back and organized an army group, and he used to be under the Oromo Liberation Army Higher Command Jalmaro, but when he went back, he instead of going and joining the Jalmaro Oromo Liberation Army, he created his own group, he established his own group, and he has never been with the Oromo Liberation Army since then. And what the people from the local area are saying is actually Fikadu Abdisa's group are what they call Shane, are organized by the Ethiopian government itself to tarnish the image of the Oromo Liberation Army by committing some atrocity on the Oromo people and others. So this Fikadu Abdisa army entered into Agamsa and disarmed about 48 civilians and about few close to like 24 militias, and in total about 70 weapons. So the Fikadu Abdisa group disarmed about 71 weapons and left Agamsa. The next day, on August 30th, the Fano terrorist groups departed from the Haro Baggin, Kiramu, and conducted a one-by-one mass murder of the Oromo civilians living in Agamsa town. That is the chain of events that happened on August 28th, August 29th, and August 30th. The killing continued, almost the killing continued until um, about 2 days ago. About 2 days ago, the local administration of the Agamsa town, Mr. Malkamu Akasa, who is the mayor of the town, about two Kabbalists, said he reported to the Oromia state government, and they sent him a militia, and the militia went there, and the population are saying the militia actually arrested the survivors, and some of them are still in prison. Mr. Malkamu, when I spoke to him, he said actually there were no person who is in jail from the survivors, but the population were saying our family members are in jail. So it was difficult for me to which one to take, to take the civilians, the people who are at the receiving end of all this attack, or the Ethiopian government administrator. But I spoke with him, and he promised if there is any person who is in jail because of their political affiliation or anything, of course not crime, we will release them. That's what he said. I hope he would do. So, anyways, what I would like to say today is that there is an Amhara terrorist group called Fano training camp, military training camp, in a place called Haro Baggin in Kiramu district of Horro Guduru Wallaga in the west of Oromia. And they have been conducting massacres, mass killing of the Oromo civilians, burning of their home, driving of cattle, and burning people alive. Among the dead was a 97-year-old elderly man, and they said they burned him alive in his while he was in his home. Another extreme age group that was affected is a 5-year-old child. The age ranges between 5 and 97, and both women and men. And a lot of the people also were displaced. About 50,000 of them were displaced from Agamsa town alone. So this has been ongoing, and the Oromia state government is now trying to stop this. Actually, they know each other, and the population told me whenever they tried to fight back the Fano terrorist group, the local administration and militias go in front of the people with convoys and patrol cars and prevent them, and order them to go back. So they don't want the Fano group to be attacked. They don't want the Fano group to be repelled by the Oromo population. And the other report from the population is that the Fano Abdisa group also was not there to protect the people, and they were asking if he is in fact struggling to set us free, why didn't he protect us? Why didn't he reach for us? Why didn't he defend us against the massacre by the Amhara Fano terrorists? That is a question I would leave to Karo Abdisa's group to answer. What I would like to emphasize is that there is an Amhara Fano terrorist group training camp, military training camp, that produces about 700, at least 700 new recruits and trained and graduated military terrorist group in Oromia, in a place called Haro Baggin, Kiramu, Horro Guduru Wallaga. Could the world just look at this and say nothing? Shouldn't they be criticized? Shouldn't they be denounced? Shouldn't they be called terrorists? For your surprise, the Fano groups are currently fighting with the Ethiopian government military in the north of the country. One of the groups said the Ethiopian government, some do not understand. He was saying some do not understand. They want us to relocate, to settle in a specific location. We should be allowed. We should be armed. He's saying we should be armed. We should be encouraged, and we should be trained and given all the resources to fight the Tigray Defense Forces. The Tigray Defense Forces are just stationed in the Tigray region. They are governing their own people. They want their autonomy. They are not invading other people for no reason. They are just settled in their own state. But the Amaras want to cross border and they want to claim land in the in the western parts of the country, and the Eritreans want to subdue the Tigrans. They are kind of right now they are landlocked. So the Eritreans come from the north. Ethiopia pushes up in the Amaras, so the Fano, the Amhara regional government militaries and militias. They want to, you know, enclave them and isolate them from the world. And so these 5 million people, they want to destroy the government of these people and force subordination. And this is happening in the 21st century. This is happening in the 21st century, and the world is watching. And the same group that is fighting with the Ethiopian government, the Fano, one of the Fano terrorists, I will show you the video in a bit. These same groups are killing innocent civilians in Oromia, and this is ongoing and basically for the last 2 years, and it's not stopping. That is why the Oromos want independence. How do we live with this group? How do the Oromos live with this group? The group that burns human being and just watches and enjoys as if this is, a rom-com, a documentary, Discovery Channel or something. They just enjoy their, take a video and distribute to the world. We just posted several months ago. See, people are still commenting how barbaric they were. So that's happening in Ethiopia right now. The reason why people are fighting is because of how Abiy took us back to the wars. He gave these people the hope that they can go back to their, to the imperial era where they were the dominant group, where everything was theirs. Theirs is theirs, ours is also theirs, and they want that back. And they want Oromia, portions of Oromia in Kiramu. They crossed over the Abai River, the Blue Nile River, and they want portions of Oromia. They want portions of Benishangul Gumuz. They want portions of Tigray. They want portions of Shawa, the Oromia state regions, and so that they can build like the great Amhara state. And of course, they want to rule Ethiopia again. So it would be like Abyssinia again. And the Amhara culture, language, and system would dominate Ethiopia forever. That's their ambition. People do not want that. People want to develop their culture, their identity. They want to be respected. They want to be equal in their own country, in a country that they call theirs, and feel really they belong. And they want to be welcome. They want to be proud of themselves and their culture, their identity, just both at home and at the global level as well. The Oromo, for example, the Oromo athletes, always they are the ones who are winning marathon, 800, 1,000, 10,000. But have they ever celebrated and with their custom and with their flag, their identity? Could they reflect their identity? They have always been carrying Ethiopian flag, but is Ethiopia respecting them? Is Ethiopia respecting their identity, their culture, their country, their people? No. How are they being paid back? by killing their citizens, unarmed citizens, starving them. That's that's what has been going on so long since Ethiopia has been established. By every nation in Ethiopia want their identity to be respected. They want to be autonomous. They want self-rule. And Amhara elites, Amhara extremists, terrorist group like Fanos do not want that. They want a portion of land from every contiguous state, from Oromia, from elsewhere. They want to dominate forever. They want to dominate everyday life. So it has been, Amhara culture has been Ethiopian culture. That's how it has been known. Monolithic Ethiopian culture. Where is Oromo culture? Where is Oromo identity? Where do the Oromo belong? Where do the Tigrans belong? That's all why people want independence. That people do not feel safe in that empire. They want to be independent. That's why they want to be independent and live as neighbors, so that we have our defense forces. We have our own government that's, that makes all the effort to take the citizens against external aggressors. Unless that is achieved, war is going to continue. But Fanos can kill as many unarmed people as they are doing right now. That cannot continue forever. So we have got a video of the Eastern Amhara Fano Deputy Commander. And this commander says that the Fano have been fighting against the Tigray Defense Forces, and all the forces, he says, are trying to dismember his country. He's calling for all Fanos from all parts of the country, and for, of course, all other people to join him in the fight. And he has said that he has been fighting along the Ethiopian defense forces, Ethiopian security system, and all the militias. They have been supported by the government, except few who do not understand the contribution that they are making against the TDF and against the OLA, or of course against the Oromo people and Tigray people as well. So let's watch together.
እናመሰግናለን 50 አለቃ ከድር የምስራቅ አማራ ፋኖ ምክትል አዛዥ አጠቃላይ የፋኖ የሰራዊት እንቅስቃሴ ምን ይመስላል እስካሁን ከራያ ግንባር ላይ ጀምሮ አሁን እስካለበት ድረስ ባለው ሂደት የግንባሩ እንቅስቃሴ ምን ይመስላል ከሚለው እንጀምርና ሌሎች ጥያቄዎችንም ያነሳን ቆይታ እናደርጋለን መጀመር እንችላለን
እሺ አመሰግናለሁ እንደሚታወቀው ባለፈው ሳምንት 19 አካባቢ ጀምሮ የምስራቅ አማራ ፋኖ ከሌሎች የጸጥታ ኃይሎች ጋር ከመከላከያ ከልዩ ኃይል እና ከሌሎች የጸጥታ ኃይል ጋር በግንባር ነው እየተዋደቀ ያለው ስለዚህ እንዳያችሁት ጉዳት ደርሷል ግን ከፍተኛ የሆነ ተጋድሎ አድርገናል ከማንንም በላይ የምስራቅ አማራ ፋኖ እስከ አመራር ጭምር መስዋዕትነት የከፈልንበት ሁኔታ ነው ያለው ስለዚህ እስከ ዛሬ ድረስ ከራማ ግንባር ጀምሮ እስቲል እስካሁን እስከ ወልዲያ ድረስ ሰራዊታችን በከፍተኛ ተጋድሎ እየተጋደለና እየተዋጋ ነው ያለው የትኛውንም ዝግጅት የተሟላ ስለነበረ ይገጥመናል ብለን አስበን ስለነበረ ዝግጅታችን የተሟላ ነው የነበረው ስለዚህ ከገጠመን ችግር አንፃር ለኛ የደረሰብን ችግር ቀላል ነው ብለን ነው የምንወስደው ስለዚህ አሁን እንደምታዩት ቁስለኛ ላይ የተሰዋ ሊኖር ይችላል ግን አሁን የሰራዊታችንን ሞራልና እንቅስቃሴ ግን በበለጠ አጠናክረን አደረጃጀትን አሁንም በመፋለም ላይ አላውሃን ያለው ሰራዊታችን ማለት ነው ዳናን
በቀጣይነትስ ሊኖራችሁ የሚችለው እንቅስቃሴ ምንድነው አሁን የህወሓት ኃይል በሁሉም ግንባሮች ጦርነቱን ጀምሯል በፊት በራያ ግንባር ብቻ ነበር ስለዚህ ሰራዊታችሁ ወደፊት ገፍቶ የሚሄድና የማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴ እንዲያደርግ እየተሰጠ ያለው ተልእኮ ምን ይመስላል ምናልባት በእናንተ በኩል የሚገለጽ ነገር ካለ
በእኛ በኩል እንደነገርኩ ዝግጅታችንን ጨርሰን እንደ አዲስ አደረጃጀታችንን ሰርተን ለግዳይ ዝግጁ ነን እንቆጫለን ስለዚህ ከዚህ በኋላ የተለየ ነገር ይፈጠራል ብለን አናስብም ከሌላ የጸጥታ ኃይል ጋር በመሆን እንደተለመደው ቀጣይ የሚሰጠንን ተልእኮ ለመፈጸም ዝግጁ ነን ምናልባት አሁን የመንግስት እንቅስቃሴ ሊወስነው ይችላል። እሱ ሆኖ ግን እሱ በሱ እንዳለ ግን እኛ አሁንም ቢሆን ማጥቃታችንን አናቆም። የጸረ ማጥቃት እንቅስቃሴያችንን እያካሄድ ነው። አሁንም ግዳጅ ላይ ናቸው ያሉት፣ ግንባር ላይ ነው ያለው ሰራዊታችን። ስለዚህ ወደፊት መንግስት የሚሰጠን ማንኛውም ግዳጅ ከጸጥታ ኃይሉ ጋር ጎን በመሰለፍ የበኩላችንን ድርሻ ለመወጣት ዝግጁ ነን።
ከዚህ ቀደም ያው የምስራቅ አማራ ፋኖ ያሰለጠናቸው የተለያዩ ከተማ የሚገኙ ፋኖዎችም ወደ ግንባር እየመጡ መሆኑ ይታወሳል። ለአብነት ያክል የመርሳ ፋኖዎች ጠቅልለው ወደ ግንባር ገብተዋል። በቅርቡ ደግሞ የሸዋ ፋኖዎች በተመሳሳይ ከነሱ ጋር ጥምረት የመፍጠር አቅምን እያጠናከሩ መሄድን በተመለከተስ
ከዚህ በፊት ግዳጅ እንደወጣን ጦርነቱ እንደተከፈተብን መግለጫ አውጥተናል። በምስራቅ አማራ ፋኖስ ከተት የሚል ጥሪ አቅርበናል። እኔም ራሴ መልእክት አስተላልፌያለሁ በሚዲያ። አሁንም እሱን ነው የምናስተላልፈው። ስለዚህ ይሄን አጠናክሮ ጠረ ነገር ግን የትኛውም ያገባኛል የሚል ኢትዮጵያዊ አማራ ብቻ አይደለም፣ የትኛውም አገባኛል የሚል ኢትዮጵያዊ ከተት ብሎ ወሎ ግንባር ላይ እንዲሰለፍ ጥሪ አቅርበናል። አሁንም ያቀርብን ነው። ስለዚህ እንኳን አይደለም ምስራቅ አማራ ፋኖ የኛ ቅርንጫፍ እስከ ሸዋ ሌሎች አካባቢም ያለው እሱ ግዴታው ነው፣ እየመጣ ነው። አሁንም እያደራጀን ያለ ነው። ግን የትኛውም የጸጥታ ኃይል የትኛውም ያገባኛል የሚል አማራ ኢትዮጵያዊ የትኛውም ኢትዮጵያዊ እዚህ ግንባር ላይ ተሰልፎ የተደቀነብንን ኢትዮጵያን የሚያፈርስ አደጋ እንዲከላከል አሁንም ጥሪያችንን ነው የምናቀርበው።
ይህንን ተከትሎ ግን አሁን በመታደርጉት እንቅስቃሴ ላይ የሚገጥማችሁ እክል ምን ይመስላል? በተለይ ከመንግስት አደረጃጀትም ጋር ሊሆን ይችላል፣ ከሌሎችም ጋር የተለያዩ ችግሮች ይነሳሉ። በሸዋም በተመሳሳይ እንደዚሁ ሸዋሮቢት አካባቢ ሌሎችም አካባቢዎች ከኋላ ደጀን ናቸው የምሰሩባቸው አጋጣሚዎች ላይ የሚገጥሟቸው ችግሮች ምንድናቸው? መፍትሄ እንዲበጅላቸውስ ምንድነው የምትሉት?
እኛ አሁንም ልቢስታችሁ ነው የምንለው። የምስራቅ አማራ ፋኖ እንደሚታወቀው አንድና አንድ ዓላማው የመጣበትን ኢትዮጵያን የሚያፈርስን አደጋ ይሄን ጁንታ መታገልና ማጥፋት ነው። ከዚህ ውጭ የትኛውም ሰው ወታደር ሆኖ መኖር የሚፈልግ ሰው አይደለም። ከኋላ ያለው ደጀን አደረጃጀታችን በዚህ ልክ የተገነባ ነው። ይህንን ያልተገነዘበ አንዳንድ የብልጽግና ቁንጮዎች ግን ሰራዊታችን እያሳደዱት ይገኛሉ። አሁንም እንደምታውቁት ትላንትና አካባቢ ዛሬም አባሎቻችን ሸዋሮቢት አካባቢ ታስረውብናል። ከምንም ነገር ከባለስልጣን ጋር ንክኪ የለንም። ማንኛውም ሰው ጋር ንክኪ የለንም። የትኛውም ድርጅት ጋርም ንክኪ የለንም። የትኛውም የፖለቲካ አካል ጋርም ንክኪ የለንም። እኛ አንድና አንድ ከመንግስት ጎን ቆመን ኢትዮጵያን የሚያፈርስ ኃይል ካለ መፍረስ የለባትም፣ ኢትዮጵያ መታገል አለብን፣ መሞት አለብን ከሚል አደጋ የተዘጋጀን ያለን። ስለዚህ ይሄን ያልተገነዘቡ ሰዎች ግን እዚህም እኛ ጋርም ጀምረውናል። ለምሳሌ ሀይቅ ከተማ ብትወስድ ካምፓችሁን አንሱ ተብለናል። ሬሽናችሁን አንሱና ሌላ ቦታ አድርጉ ተብለናል። ኦና ከከረመጥ ጠርገን ስለገባን ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ የትኛውም አመራርም ቢሆን ማለት ነው መኖሪያ ቤቱን ለቆ ለፋኖ ቀለብ ሊያዋጣ የፋኖን ቀለብ ሊያስቀምጥ ይችላል እንጂ አይደለም የመንግስትን ቦታ ለቀቁልን እንባል። ይሄ ትክክል አይደለም፣ መገንዘብ አለበት። ስለዚህ ሊሞት የወጣን አካል መደገፍ ማደራጀት ሲገባ ሂዶ እዚህ የሚሉ አንዳንድ ያልገባቸው ናቸው። አብዛኛው አይደለም፣ አብዛኛው የትኛውም አመራር እየደገፈን ነው ያለው። አሁን ለምሳሌ ወልዳ ብትሄድ የጸጥታ ኃይሉ እኛን እየደገፈ ነው የመጣው። ተተኳሽ እየሰጠን ቀለብ እየሰጠን ነው የመጣው።
This has been FNN News Network. Thank you for watching. Please share and subscribe to our channel. If you have any question, leave us a comment here or go to our website fnnmedia.org and leave us a comment or question. Thank you.